Okay.
but with a twist that connects to, get this, a Bitcoin whale waking up after 14 years.
Yeah, this is not your everyday crypto news.
No.
We're talking about 2,000 Bitcoin
Wow.
suddenly moving from a wallet that's been dormant since
Yeah.
practically the dawn of Bitcoin.
Okay, I'm already hooked.
Yeah.
You got my attention.
Yes.
So how does this tie into Pi Network,
Right.
which for anyone just joining us is a cryptocurrency you can mine on your phone?
Well, the timing is what's raising eyebrows.
Okay.
This Bitcoin move happened just as Pi Network is gearing up for its open mainnet launch.
Oh, wow.
And when you consider that many believe some of these ancient wallets might be connected to
Yeah.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Whoa, wait, you think this could be Satoshi themselves making moves? Mm-hmm. The creator of Bitcoin now would be a story.
It's definitely fueling speculation, and it makes you wonder, what impact could this kind of activity have on the crypto market?
Right.
Especially for a newcomer like Pi.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Okay.
First, help me wrap my head around this zombie wallet situation.
Sure.
Why is everyone so hyped about a bunch of old Bitcoin suddenly moving?
Think of it this way. It's like finding a time capsule
Okay.
from the very beginning of the internet.
Right.
These wallets were created when Bitcoin was practically worthless,
Yeah.
and they haven't been touched in years.
So, besides the historical curiosity,
Right.
why does it matter now?
Because it has the potential to shake things up big time.
Okay.
We're talking about a massive influx of liquidity hitting the market.
Yeah.
Imagine if even a fraction of the rumored 1 million Bitcoin held in these dormant wallets
Wow.
suddenly started moving.
That's mind-blowing. But why now, though? Is there something special about this moment in crypto history?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some believe it's a power play,
Okay.
a strategic move to manipulate the market. Others think it could be a long game strategy,
Yeah.
someone cashing out at just the right moment.
Right.
But the timing,
Yeah.
coinciding with Pi's open mainnet launch,
Yeah.
is what makes it so intriguing.
Okay, I'm seeing where you're going with this.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So if this Bitcoin whale really is trying to influence the market,
Yeah.
how would that even benefit Pi?
Think of it like a rising tide lifting all boats.
Okay.
If the price of Bitcoin surges, it often creates a ripple effect across the entire crypto market. A new player like Pi,
Right.
just entering the open market,
Yeah.
could ride that wave of enthusiasm.
Oh, okay, that's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
So we've got this mystery surrounding the zombie wallet,
Right.
the timing lining up with Pi's launch,
Yeah.
and the potential for a market boost. Now, I can't help but ask about the elephant in the room, Dr. Nikolas.K.
The creator of Pi, is there any chance he could be connected to this whole Bitcoin whale situation?
The million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Dr. Nikolas has an impressive background,
Nice.
Stanford computer science,
Yeah.
a focus on blockchain technology, and this ambition to create a truly decentralized and accessible cryptocurrency.
It's almost like he's picking up where Satoshi left off,
Yeah.
isn't it? Both of them trying to empower the masses with cryptocurrency.
The parallels are definitely there.
Yeah.
And let's not forget,
Yeah.
we still don't know the true identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, so
Right.
anything is possible, right?
That is getting juicy. But let's hold back on the conspiracy theories for now.
Okay.
What I really want to understand
Yes.
is
Okay.
beyond the hype. But what about actual uses for Pi?
Right.
Is it just a digital token?
Right.
Or can you actually spend it on things?
That's where things get really interesting. Pi is already being used for peer-to-peer transactions within the Pi network. Users can buy and sell goods and services using Pi.
Okay.
They've even got a barter marketplace where you can trade goods directly.
So it's like a self-contained economy within the Pi network.
It's evolving in that direction.
Okay.
And with the open mainnet launch,
Yeah.
they're aiming to connect that internal economy to the wider world.
Wow.
Imagine a future where you can seamlessly use Pi to pay for things online and offline.
Right.
Just like you would with traditional currency.
Now that's a vision I can get behind. But what are some concrete examples of how people are using Pi right now?
We're seeing a lot of activity in developing countries.
Okay.
People are using Pi to send remittances back home, bypassing expensive transfer fees.
Right.
There are also pilot programs exploring microloans and other financial services using Pi.
That's amazing. It's like Pi is filling a gap where traditional financial systems have failed to reach.
It's all about financial inclusion, giving people access to financial tools who might not otherwise have them.
Right.
And that aligns with the whole ethos of decentralized finance.
Right.
Or DeFi, for short.
Okay. DeFi. That's a term I've heard thrown around a lot. Can you explain it in simple terms?
Think of it as for short.
Okay, DeFi. That's a term I've heard thrown around a lot. Can you explain it in simple terms?
Think of it as finance without the middleman.
Okay.
Instead of relying on banks and other financial institutions,
Right.
DeFi uses blockchain technology to create transparent and accessible financial systems that empower individuals.
So it's like cutting out the banks and putting the power back in the hands of the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Pi,
Yeah.
with its focus on accessibility and real-world use cases, has the potential to be a major player in the DeFi space.
It's all starting to make sense now. We've got this mysterious Bitcoin whale potentially shaking up the market.
Right.
Pi Network poised to launch in the open mainnet.
Yeah.
And the whole DeFi movement gaining momentum. It feels like we're on the verge of a major shift in the financial landscape.
It's definitely an exciting time to be following the crypto space.
Yeah.
And the big question is,
Yeah.
will Pi be able to capitalize on this momentum and become the cryptocurrency that finally breaks through to the mainstream?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But going back to Dr. Kokalas for a moment,
Okay.
do you think he's intentionally modeled Pi after Bitcoin?
It's hard to say for sure,
Yeah.
but there are definitely some striking similarities.
Right.
Both projects share this vision of decentralization, empowering individuals, and making cryptocurrency accessible to the masses.
It's almost like Pi is the next evolution of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
building upon its foundation and taking it to the next level.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Pi is addressing some of the limitations of Bitcoin,
Right.
particularly when it comes to scalability and energy consumption.
Right, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But what about the criticisms of Pi?
Sure.
I've read some articles that are skeptical of their approach,
Yeah.
saying it's too good to be true. What are some of the valid concerns out there?
One of the main criticisms is around centralization.
Okay.
While Pi promotes itself as a decentralized network,
Yeah,
some critics argue that the core team still has too much control.
that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Decentralization is one of the core principles of cryptocurrency.
Right.
So if Pi isn't truly decentralized,
Yeah.
that would be a big issue.
Another concern is around the value of Pi.
Okay.
Since it's not yet traded on open exchanges,
Right.
it's difficult to determine its true market value.
So people are worried that their Pi might be worthless once it hits the open market.
That's a possibility. But it's also important to remember that early Bitcoin adopters faced similar uncertainties.
Right.
The value of any cryptocurrency is ultimately determined by market forces.
So it's a bit of a gamble, but with potentially high rewards.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
But the real question is,
Yeah.
what problem is Pi solving?
Right.
What value does it bring to the table?
I'm glad you brought that up. We talked a lot about the technical aspects of Pi,
Right.
but I'd love to delve deeper into its real-world applications and the problems it's trying to solve.
Let's do that, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the success of any cryptocurrency hinges on its ability to solve real-world problems and create tangible value for its users.
So we've established that Pi is trying to be more than just another cryptocurrency.
Right.
It's aiming to build a whole ecosystem around it with real-world applications and a focus on utility.
Yeah.
What are some specific examples of how Pi is being used to solve real-world problems?
One area where Pi is making waves is in cross-border payments.
Okay.
Traditional methods can be slow, expensive, and riddled with fees.
Right.
Pi offers a faster, cheaper, and more transparent alternative.
That's a huge pain point for a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially those sending remittances to family members in other countries.
Exactly. Pi is cutting out the intermediaries and streamlining the process, making it much easier, more affordable to send money across borders.
I've also read about Pi being used for microloans and other financial services in developing countries.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Pi's accessibility makes it ideal for providing financial services to underserved populations.
Right.
People who may not have access to traditional banking systems can use Pi to access microloans,
Good.
build credit, and participate in the global economy.
That's incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
It's like Pi is leveling the playing field and giving everyone a chance to participate in the financial system.
That's the vision behind Pi.
Yeah.
To create a more inclusive and equitable financial system and communities.
That's a future I'm excited to be a part of.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to Pi for a moment. With all this potential,
Okay.
what are some of the challenges that Pi Network might face as it moves forward?
One of the biggest challenges will be scaling the network.
Oh,
They've already achieved an impressive user base, but to truly achieve mainstream adoption,
Right.
they'll need to ensure that the network can handle a massive volume of transactions.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they'll also need to navigate the regulatory landscape, right? Governments around the world are still trying to figure out how to regulate cryptocurrency.
Absolutely. Regulatory clarity will be crucial for Pi's long-term success.
Yeah.
They'll need to work closely with regulators to ensure compliance and foster a positive relationship with governments.
And then there's the question of competition.
Right.
The crypto space is incredibly crowded, with new projects popping up all the time.
Yeah, it is.
How does Pi stand out from the crowd?
Pi's focus on mobile accessibility and real-world use cases is a major differentiator.
Okay.
They're not just building a speculative asset. They're building a platform that can be used by anyone, anywhere.
It's like they're taking the complexity out of cryptocurrency and making it accessible to the masses.
Exactly. And that's what makes Pi so intriguing.
Yeah.
They're challenging the status quo and pushing the boundaries of what's possible with blockchain technology.
So what does this all mean for our listener?
Right.
Let's say they're hearing all this for the first time and are curious about Pi Network. What advice would you give them?
I'd say, do your research, read the white paper,
Okay.
explore the Pi Network website, and engage with the community.
Uh-huh.
Understand the technology, the vision, and the potential risks involved.
It's always good advice to approach any new investment with a healthy dose of skepticism. Don't just jump in because of the hype.
Exactly, but at the same time, don't be afraid to explore new possibilities.
Right.
The world of cryptocurrency is constantly evolving, and Pi Network is a fascinating experiment that's worth paying attention to.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the mysterious Bitcoin whale to the potential of Pi Network to reshape the financial landscape. It's been an incredible deep dive.
It has. And who knows what the future holds.
The
But
bottom
one
line
thing's
is
for sure,
Pi.
the world of
What
cryptocurrency
was
is
Pi?
full of surprises and
Is it a
endless
legit way to
possibilities.
potentially...
Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration. And to our listeners, we encourage you to continue your own research and decide for yourself what role you want to play in this exciting new era of